Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by for another episode here at alliseeisW. In today's video, we'll be doing a deep dive analysis talking about Ethereum as well as Bitmine immersion technology. We'll cover the macro scale updates, go through the latest updates with ETH as well as Bitmine immersion technology led by Tomlee, and we'll be going through price predictions using technical analysis. How high can ETH go, as well as BMNR through the rest of 2025? Now, if you're new to this channel, I would really appreciate you hitting the like, subscribing for more related content, and I'll be playing an epic video clip from Tom Lee, so you don't want to miss it. We'll first off begin with just the SEC soon to just announcing tokenization, and we know tokenization is going to be through the ETH ecosystem.
You want to tell people what?
You think we should?
Yeah.
Okay. So this morning we announced that we're going to be bringing tokenization into our market. So making sure that equities are tokenized and traded on market, in the markets, not in a side sleeve, but actually in the core markets.
So the eventual goal, or is it today? 24/7, 365 equities, just let it rip constantly.
I mean, I think we are all moving in that direction. We announced several months ago that we're moving to 24/5. So we're
24/5
moving that way.
So Saturday, Sunday,
not for equities yet. I think that we have to. We're walking before we run. But I think that getting to 24/5 is a major advancement for the U.S. equities markets. And then on top of that, now with tokenization, if we can introduce that also into the markets, it allows us to really think about streamlining the post-trade processing, bringing and modernizing elements of the markets that have a lot of friction. We are hyper resilient and we're hyper scaled. We manage, like today, we had 95 billion messages come into our systems today. And we had a median, return time of 20 microseconds from order to trade. We handle like 3 million messages a second. It's hugely scaled. But then at the same time, once that trade occurs, there's a different process. And then the post-trade process, as we know, is an area where tokenization really shines. And really cutting down the friction, managing capital flows across the global ecosystem, and really bringing that capability into the markets is going to be the next.
I'm sure I get your reaction to this. There's this very famous curve, which is like you get this early font of insanity, and then there's the trough of disillusionment, and then you grow through. And does it seem like crypto is actually in blockchain? It's finally real. It's like there's real companies doing real things, stable coins, what Sachs did with the Genius Act.
Well, I actually want to point to that because, honestly, having regulators who want to work on bringing it into the mainstream and want to create the rules of the road is such a refreshing thing, because I think that it allows us all to understand how we can operate within a world where there are tenets of investor protection. The technology is going to have things we can and can't do, but also being forward thinking and forward leaning and how the technology is going to be applied is going to be critical. So we're very excited about the fact that we finally have this convergence of regulation between the traditional markets, the digital markets. How do we bring it all together to frankly advance all markets? And we're very, very excited about that.
So there you heard it. This is massive for crypto. So we're going to see a lot of bullish activity in the next couple weeks, months, and years with just tokenization with Nasdaq filing with the SEC. So let's take a look at this post. So according to crypto quant analysts, ETH is in one of its strongest cycles with institutional demand staking and on-chain activity near record highs. Merlin the Trader posts ETH is arming the biggest run yet. Wedge breakout, monthly MACD cross. Momentum is undeniable. We saw this in 2020. We rode the market. Now it's 2025 with ETH fuel and Wall Street liquidity multiplying the firepower. The next phase, ETH detonates into 5 digits. So we're not bullish enough. I mean, we're not even at that, previous all-time high back in 2021. We just got that golden cross on the MACD, bullish crossing, and now we're just going to see, green candles on the MACD. What does this mean? ETH can really break out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes beyond levels that we didn't expect. Gordon posts, you are not bullish enough on ETH, and he has that price target set somewhere around that 8,000. Put it in the comments how high you think ETH can go. What's your prediction? Ryan posts, insane how psyched people are on ETH as of yesterday. ETH has outperformed Bitcoin on all major time horizons. I mean, you look at the 6 months, 77%, 1 year, 0.05%, 5 year, 9%, 10 year, 300%. People act like Bitcoin is the only crypto store of value, yet ETH has stored value as well as other than Bitcoin. So just look at trading view, horizontal view. ETH has just dominated right now. So, not to say that Bitcoin isn't the mother coin. Yes, Bitcoin is a mother coin. They're the store valued safety net right now. But when you look at upside, there's coins like ETH, Solana that are really moving right now. Let's take a look at this post. So the tomlee effect, what do we see on Friday? I mean, we saw really nice movements. Hopefully we can see that continue through the FOMC rate cut upcoming week. ETH went up. We had BMNR shooting up, SPAC going up, ETHA going up. But when you look at BMNR, that was like in the double digit range, 15% run up. Very bullish. Treasury Tracker posts the top five most liquid crypto treasury companies ranked by daily trading volume. So, strategy with the most amount of Bitcoin, close to 640,000 Bitcoin. They've been stacking like since 5 years, since COVID timeframe. However, Bitmine, I mean, just aggressively stacking ETH. I mean, they're at that rate of stacking to the level that strategy has never stacked before and really catching up. And this is why they're like, getting daily volume trading close to strategy right now. So that's very bullish. I think at one point, Tom Lee effect's going to kick in and BMNR will be, trading volume that's much higher than strategy. And you got Sharp Blink at 481 million BTBT and UPXI. TrendSpider posts fireworks for FOMC meeting week question mark. BMNR, I mean, just look at this. We had BMNR shoot up 161 all-time high when it announced news it's going to be an e-treasury company pivoting from Bitcoin mining. Then it dropped all the way down to 30 support, went from 30 to 70, 70 to, low 40s, and now 40 to 55. We're still at that launch pad mode. I think a lot of people are like dollar cost average around this range. I think a lot of people are around the high 50s to 40s cost average, and soon enough, I think we're going to start launching even beyond levels we didn't expect. And I'll go through the technical analysis with you. Micro to macro prices, BMNR should hit $60 soon and then be above 80 by end of month question mark. So how high can it go? Put it in the comments what you think. Do you agree with what micro to macro is saying? $60 soon, and then soon we're going to launch to $80 in this month, which is going to be in the next couple of weeks here. Mike Invested posted BMNR is positioned for a breakout towards 100 plus. Since confirming a bottom at $40, it's been made clear this setup will see a rally similar to what NBIS had from $40 to 110 plus. All I can say is bears are in major trouble. Expect 100% returns from here by November. Mark my words. So, you just how it's playing out. I think we're going to see this parabolic run. That's definitely reasonable. And he has it set, even before October begins. So, this is very bullish, and I really do agree on the price prediction. We may have it pushed out further, beyond October onward, but I do think that we will definitely reach the 110 plus. In fact, beyond that. Let's go through technical analysis of Ethereum. So, what are we seeing right now? So, I have the bullish bearish indicator on, and I also have the MCDX indicator on. This helps me know where smart money is at. Looking at volume, obviously, we're seeing, whales buying up. When whales buy up, you see a higher uptick with the red. That's a good sign. So, what are we also seeing? We're also seeing you know, the bullish indicator representing in red, and then now we're seeing this violet formation forming. Every time when we see violet formation, following the red formation, what do we see? Upward movement. Red formation, purple, upward movement. What are we seeing now? We just got that red breakout from that, pullback, and now we're beginning to, form the purple bullish signals. I think come, the upcoming weeks in September, we may very well, as we head into September, October, we may very well break into the 5,500 range. And I'm forecasting as we head into Q4, we're going to continue to see inflows come in. MCDX will continue to grow with whales, institutions loading up. We're going to get, on a moderate scale, 7,800 is my base case. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes beyond this. We're seeing something we've never seen before. Wall Street is now involved with cryptocurrency. They're, stacking right now. They understand tokenization, proof of, stake you can gain by just, validating the ecosystem of Ethereum. This is bullish. Wall Street's happy with that. And that's why BlackRock, financial institutions are loading up on Ethereum. Let's take a look at BMNR technical analysis. So what are we seeing? So back in July, we saw big time smart money buying in. Yes, I mean, that was coupled with that big run up from $4 to 160. And then what had happened? Obviously, whales were taking profits and it had a cool down. Relative strength was overbought and it got to support level at 30. This is where, whales began to load up again. They understood the base case. We saw that red bull signal, following with purple candles. And then since then, it started cooling off again. RSI. What are we seeing? We're seeing stair steps right now. That's basically what it is. We had oversold signals support at the new 40 base. Obviously, it has to climb up, right? I mean, when you got a new resistance, new step up, you're going to consolidate. It goes from 30 to 40 support level. And now we're going to, see a new formation form here. Whales are loading up. We're seeing, bullish signal. I think the next step up is getting somewhere around that, 77, 88 range. So above this range is what I'm thinking. This is the minimum line. And then we're going to start consolidating. And then as we head towards Q4, I think, on a moderate scale, we'll get somewhere around that 120 plus. We may even launch further, but this is where we're going to see the next step here. We got the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. That's where I see this playing out. But overall, I do suspect that BMNR will get to a triple digit stock. This will really be like the next MSTR play, long-term strategy. This company is going to be very big. Market cap's going to grow, and it's really transforming how we look at just, investing into, cryptocurrency. I mean, now you have companies that have treasury of either Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and BMNR is the giant in this game right now.
Yes. So let's get right to the question from investors. So need to buy a Bitmine stock instead of just buying Ethereum directly if it's so good?
Yes, that's a great question because someone's going to say, well, if Ethereum can go up a lot, why don't I just buy Ethereum? And one of the differences is that a digital treasury like Bitmine is actually growing how much Ethereum you have per share. So I'll give you an example. On July 8th, when we closed on that initial transaction for taking over Bitmine or transforming to a Bitmine treasury, an Ethereum treasury, there was $4 of Ethereum per share held at Bitmine. So imagine someone could say, I could buy $4 worth of Ethereum or buy one Bitmine share. As of August 24th, Bitmine held $40 of Ethereum per share. So it rose by 10 times. But if someone bought the Ethereum itself, or they bought the Ethereum ETF, they'd still only have $4 of Ethereum per share. So you can see that a treasury company is growing your Ethereum holdings per share. That's why MicroStrategy stock did better than Bitcoin. In August 2020, MicroStrategy stock was $13. Today it's $335. It's gone up by more than 25 times. The price of Bitcoin has gone from 10,000 to 110,000. So it's gone up by 11 times, but MicroStrategy stock's gone up by 25 times. And that's because MicroStrategy as a treasury company has grown your Bitcoin per share, and Bitmine is growing your Ethereum per share every week. It's growing by roughly 50 cents per day.
Okay, that's the reason why we should buy Bitmine instead of Ethereum if we want more profits.
That's right. And to give you a perspective, the stock was $4.50 when we announced the treasury strategy, and today the stock's $43. So it's gone up by 10 times. Ethereum has risen by 50% in that period of time. So Bitmine has outperformed Ethereum.
So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode at alliseeisW, where the goal is to gain on positive proceeds and lead with an altruistic mindset together. Put your comments down below what you thought of this video, how high you think ETH can go, what's your price prediction of BMNR, where you're watching from. Thanks, guys.